All right. So let me restart that. Just for the record, since I forgot to press record. So proportion, this is true because 25 over 24, 50 over 24, if you reduce it, you do get the 25 over 12. Okay? So that means they are the same thing. They're equal. You cannot just divide the top. You have to do the same, dividing the same number on the bottom as well. Okay, what about this one? B. Who says it's true? Who says it's false? Okay, let's see why it's false. I see a majority of you guys say it's false. So 100 divided by what gives you 20? 100 divided by 20, you get thank you. Right, 100 divided by 20, you get 5. So here you can see if you 80 divided by 5 to see if you get the 12. What's let me get a calculator out. 80 divided by 12 is like 6.6. Okay, so you divide by 6.6. So notice it's not the same ratio. You don't divide them by the same number, so that means it's false. It's not equivalent. It's not equal. So it's false. Okay, simplify the ratio on the left. Use simplified ratio to find the missing value in the ratio to the right. Okay, there's a couple of ways that we could do this. Okay, so I'll do the first one is pretty obvious. Okay, so 100 to 4, 100 divided by 4, you get, what's 100 divided by 4? Bless you. Yep. 25. So that means if they are equivalent ratios, I'm going to divide the top by 25 as well, by the same number. So 25 divided by 5 is 1. All right, so n equals 1. Okay. What about right here? 100 divided by 120 divided by 40. 120 divided by 40 on your calculator. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, 120 divided by 40 on your calculator. You see that you're dividing it by 3. So on the bottom, that means I should divide by 3 as well. 9 divided by 3 and equals 3. Okay. One common mistake that I see people do is they subtract. Okay. Remember, for equivalent ratios, you're not adding and subtracting. You're either multiplying or dividing. So I like to go from the bigger number to the smaller number because I could easily just divide to see what that ratio is. I could do 40 times 3 to get that 120. That means something times 3 would give me the 9. So whenever you deal with these ratios, you're always doing multiply or divide. I personally like divide more, going from the bigger number to the smaller number. Okay. Okay, so sometimes, so now that we know the idea, we get the idea, it's not always going to be whole numbers. It's not going to be integers, nice and neat and easy to see. And it's okay to have decimals as your answer. So this one right here, well, this is still a whole number. Okay, why don't you guys try A first? Okay. You guys have an answer for A? So for A right here, I know I said I'd like to go from the bigger number to the smaller number. So I know that from here to here, the ratio is 4. 12 divided by 4 gives you 3. That means here, it should also be 4. Something divided by 4 to give you 6. So what I was saying up here, I could go from the bigger number to the smaller number by dividing. Similarly, I can go from the smaller number to the bigger number by multiplying. So if I do that, 6 times the 4, I will get that n is 24. Right? So I could either multiply or divide. Let's say I made a mistake. I divided by accident. I did 6 divided by 4, and I got that 1.5. How I know it's wrong is look at the big picture again, like the big question. 3 over 6, I know it's a half. 12 divided by 1.5, it's not a half. It's way bigger. So what is half? 12 over 24. So these kind of questions that like these ones right here, these 3, you could probably eyeball it and find out the answer. This one, can you eyeball it and find the answer? No, it's a little harder. Okay, so try B. You can either use the multiply or divide to do B. And this question should take you like 30 seconds to do. And it will be a great idea if you have a calculator. Okay, who has an answer for me? Let's see if you got it correct. Okay, there's 27 of you guys in here. Give it a try, Pedro.
N equals 2.42.
I like your answer. How many of you got that? 2.42. Okay, I was hoping more, but not bad. Okay, so for this one, I'm going from the bigger number to the smaller number. So I'm going to divide. So 15.8 divided by 8.5, I got this number. This huge number. So, whoops. 15.8 divided by 8.5, I got this. Now, why did I write so many digits when the question says to just round to 2 decimal place? Whenever the question says round to 1 decimal place, 5 decimal place, it's the final answer. It always refers to just the final answer. Before the final answer, you want to take as many decimals as you can. And then here, 4.5. On your calculator, if you have this ANS button, it's really helpful. This stores your last answer for you. So I could do 4.5 divided by ANS, which is this whole decimal. And then when I press equal, I will get the final answer. That is when I would round to just 2 decimal place. Okay, so don't round too early. If you round it too early up here, you're going to be off in your final answer. So only round your final answer. Okay. Later on, we will do another method where we I'll teach you guys another method afterwards. Okay, so right now we'll just keep it simple as equivalent ratios. Okay, Example 4. A 2.4 meter tree casts a shadow that is 9.5 meter long. A second tree casts a shadow that is 4.75 meter long. How tall is the second tree? Okay, so that's a shadow. Okay, so here's my lovely apple tree that is 2.5 meters tall, and it has shadow on the ground that is 9.5 meter long. Okay, at the same time, you have a second tree beside it, and then I have a shadow that is 4.75 meters long. Okay, just based on this, how do I know the second tree is shorter? Yeah, because what about the shadow? It's smaller. Exactly. It makes sense. The taller, the longer the shadow, the shorter the shadow. So when I find my final answer, I want an answer less than 2.5. That's my hints. That's how I know I'm probably doing it correct. Okay, so let's set it up as fractions like this. So I'm gonna do 2.5 over 9.5 equal. Now here's the tricky part. Is it x over 4.75 or 4.75 over x? Which way should it be? Should my x be on the top or x on the bottom? Okay, how many of you say put the x on the top? How many of you say put x on the bottom? Okay, you guys are great. Yes, I do put the x on the top and 4.75 on the bottom. Why? Because I'm doing tree over shadow. On this side, I have to be consistent. I also have to write the ratio of tree to shadow. It makes a huge difference if you don't follow, if you're not consistent. Okay. So do you guys want to know the other method? Do you guys want to learn the other method? How we, you okay? Okay. Okay, if you're comfortable with this method, by all means, you can do it this way. I just want to teach you guys another method as well. This is the method I teach my grade 10s also. So whenever you have a fraction equal another fraction, you can do cross multiply and divide. Okay, so you can get the same answer using the method that we did in example 1, 2, 3, but I want to introduce you another method as well, and then you guys decide which method you like. So cross multiply and then divide. So cross multiply, 9.5 times x is 9.5x. 2.5 times 4.75, you get 11.875. And then the last step is divide. So this divided by that. You always divide by the number in front of the x. And so you get x equal divided by 9.5. So x equals 1.25. Yep.
You forgot to set the meters on.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Notice I left a little space right here. I wanted to see if you guys would notice. Yes, word problem, you have your unit. So make sure you are talking about the height of a tree, so it's 1.25 meters. Okay, so again, the second method, After you have a fraction equals another fraction, you would cross multiply. So multiply, like cross multiply. 9.5 times x is 9.5x. That when you multiply, you get this. And then just divide by the number in front of the x. And you'll always, always, always get your answer. So like kind of like this is like the blindly method. And then this is the thinking logical method. Okay. Which method do you guys like more? The top method or the bottom method? So those who say I like this method more. Okay. Those who say I like this method more. Those who say I don't like either method. Okay. So it is essentially the same thing, but so use either method. Try this one. Okay, take 2 minutes, try this one. Remember, you have to set up the two fractions first. That's the very key step. Oops. Okay, while you guys are doing the math. That's a horrible dog. What am I missing here? Let me try my luck with a cat. Okay, cats I think are better. I think I'm better at drawing cats. That looks better, right? Much better than my dog. What's wrong with my dog? What are those dogs called when they have like long floppy ears? Dog.
And short legs.
Let's see. What? Now, let me see. Now, why doesn't this dog look like this? What am I doing wrong? Just a little off. Okay. Alright, and that's why I choose to stick to teaching math rather than art. Okay, somebody tell me what you wrote. Let's set up our fraction first. Petro.
2/7 equals 5,000 over n.
Equal 5,000 over
N.
n. Okay. Yeah, doesn't matter. N, X, A, B, anything, any letter you want to use. Now, why in this order, Petro?
Because it's dog food is 2 over, and the cat food is 7, so you have to keep it consistent.
Yeah, so 5,000 dog food. That's why I wrote. That's why I drew the picture. See, it wasn't just for no purpose. Dog over cat. Dog over cat. Dog over cat. Okay. So, which method did you use? Did you use the first method or second method? First method. Okay. What did you do?
I divided 5,000 by 2.
And you got
2,500.
2,500. Okay.
Times it by 7. 2,500 times 7.
Yeah.
That's your answer.
So when you times it by the same ratio, oh, sorry, you guys couldn't see. Yeah, so 2 times 2,500 gives you 5,000. So 7 times 2,500.
17,500.
17,500 what?
Cans of cat food.
Cans of cat food. Yeah, you can't just say cans because we're dealing with 2 types of can. So you have to say cans of what? Cans of cat food. Okay, so that's Petrol's method using the first way. What if I decide to use the second method, the cross multiply and divide method? I just want to show the two. Okay, remember the second method is cross multiply and then divide. Okay, so yeah.
5,000 times 7, 35,000, 2 times n, 2n, and 35,000 divided by 2n.
Divide by 2, not just not 2n, but divide by 2. Yeah.
17.
Yeah. Good job. Okay, so both methods, you come up with the same answer. Choose the method that you like. They're essentially the same thing. It's just the step is different. Okay. See, it is a short lesson. 22 minutes only. Any question on today's lesson? Okay, so for those of you who are thinking, okay, so what are we doing for the rest of the class? Work. But where is the work? Miss didn't photocopy it for us. There's nothing on the back. So where do you think you can find those questions? Brightspace. So remember I said after a while, I'm going to get you guys to get used to going on Brightspace. So Brightspace, content, chapter 2. Okay, so when you go to content, we are on chapter 2 right now. And then when you go to proportion, which was the title of today's worksheet, that's how you know which one to click on. And then scroll down